Right, for a surprise, I am on this Ayats Bravo Bodied Volvo B7tl, which of course was 2005 plated. Bus will be ready to go in a minute. Now, of course, down there is the first go-ahead mall bus. Say Alexander Dennis Alx400 MMC, and 200 MMC, sorry, number 240. There's another one coming down the lane as well. This one is number 230. Number 1700, Alexander Dennis Alx400 MMC as well. It's in the Bournemouth University wrap that. Switch Olympus, Bodied Volvo B7tl 1410.
Stops along the route.
Here we go, now let's see how this Bravo goes.
History and the people who helped shape it as what it is today. Be sure to hold on to your ticket. We to ask the driver, who will only be too happy to help. But please only do this when the bus has stopped. As we head over the overpass, we see
Alx400 MMC 1687.
Our award-winning beach is 9.5 miles long, stretching from Sandbanks in the west to Hindlesbury Head in the east. To our left are the lower gardens, with the Bourne stream from which the town gets its name. The name comes from the Scottish Hotel, the very first hotel it was opened on the day of Queen Victoria's coronation. Is the
Oh yeah, we've got a good load of more buses down there.
100 years old. It hosts a back-to-back programme of plays, musicals, concerts and comedy.
What ones have we got? So put your hands together for 1786, Alexander Dennis Alx400 MMC, Acting President, Bodied Trainer Volvo B7tl Driver Trainer.
Look up to the right.
Alexander Dennis Alx400 MMC
used to house a number of hotels, an ice rink and 2 cinemas.
East Lancs Millennium by Volvo B7tl.
Just before Beatlemania
Alexander
took the band around the world.
MMC,
The same year, the
Bournemouth
Bournemouth also
MMC
hosted the Rolling
243 as
Stones
well.
and Cliff Richard and the Shadows. Square is really considered the centre of the town, with the main department stores and
there are a lot
places.
more Alexander Dennis Alx400 MMCs down here.
It was the main intersection where 7 roads from
1733, 1776, 1700 in that Bournemouth University brand, 1719. There's also a right clips 2 by Volvo B7tl, there's 2253,
inland in one direction and down to the seafront in the other, making a
and more
mile-long
bus,
green corridor on the Bourne
1676.
Stream, which gives Bournemouth its name. Former Prime Minister Winston Churchill holidayed in Bournemouth as a child, where he would sail a model boat in this, which was so
There's the
large it had
Unibus
2 levels.
18
Between the 1930s and the
687.
1970s, the bus station was buzzing with holidaymakers during the summer months. However,
As we come into Westbourne, alleys and restaurants. Westbourne is
More
known to its
beside
residents
Sandbanks,
as
we've got
the
to go and see that
and is
way.
admired for the friendly atmosphere of its streets and arcades. It has such a great reputation that people come from all over Bournemouth. Real ale from local producers like Poole and Woodhouse or the Ringwood Brewery.
There are a couple of others there on the service, M1 and M2. One of them is 1768, the other 1719. That service message on the M1 and 2. Everybody take note.
This was the boundary between the counties of Dorset to the west and Hampshire to the east. In 1974, Bournemouth and Preston.
That's of course the Rockwater area.
If you look to the right as we climb the hill, you can see the start of one of the longest chimes, Ramsey Chime. It stretches inland for a mile and a half and is said to have been a regular route for smugglers as they headed inland. One visitor who appreciated the walks here was the poet John Hedgerow. He wrote, "Walk the asphalt paths of Branksome Chime, in resin-scented air like strong white wine." The houses either side of the chime has a lawn.
The village at the top of the hill is an exclusive neighbourhood called Canford Cliffs. If you wish to visit Compton Acres Gardens, be ready to ring the bell in the village and hop off just after it. After a 3-minute walk, you'll be wandering around 7 distinct ornamental gardens, including an Italian garden and a Japanese garden, with spectacular views across Poole Harbour. Someone has worked out the average wealth of the residents of Canford Cliffs is within the top 2% of people in the country. If you look carefully, you can see some signs. Rolls Royces are commoner on the streets here than anywhere else. A hairdressing salon offers a valet parking service, and the luxurious cafes are designed so that you can both see and be seen if you wish. Canford Cliffs hit the headlines when a bank decided not to allow clients to use its
Amount of high water to sail in during each 24-hour period. If you want to drive around the harbour, it's about 25 miles. But if you were to follow the shore, the biggest island in the middle of the harbour is Brownsea Island, one of 5 islands in the harbour. Hidden out of sight between Brownsea and the Purbeck Hills in the distance is Furzy
God,
Island.
another go ahead small bus Alexander. Oh no, it's a Blue Star Alexander Dennis Alx400 MMC.
Lies over to the right, and so does Warren, sandwiched between two
Well, down there is of course hill.
River Piddle. That's a name which is back in
Anybody
favour
can see
after
Poole
its
from
touchy
that
Victorian times
direction.
when it was sometimes called the River Trent. An easy boat trip from Poole Quay will take you to Wales for fish and chips and its quay, or a walk around its Saxon defences.
And of course I have been on a boat trip to that island in the middle. Last time I've been to Poole.
It's very popular with walkers, bird watchers and theatre goers where the annual open-air productions take place. Brownsea Castle at the left-hand end of the island is leased to the John Lewis Partnership, the owners of the Waitrose supermarket chain and the John Lewis department stores. It's used for training and as a retreat for staff to stay in and enjoy sharing it with the resident peacocks and red squirrels after the day trips have gone home. The island is one of the few places in southern England where red squirrels survive, because grey squirrels have never been introduced to the island. The island used to have a clay mine and pottery, but all activity had ended by the time the last private owners, the Bonham Christie family, left in the early 1960s. Brownsea is famous as the home of the Scouting movement. Scouting began in 1907, when Robert Baden-Powell held the first Scouting camp on the island. He'd been a British Army general during the Boer War and saw a need. enter Poole Park, but first we pass Poole Civic Centre, which used to be the home of Poole Borough Council until it joined Portland limestone in 1931 in the Art Deco style. On the outside, just below the cast iron and lead guttering, are 24 superb sculptured stone reliefs depicting historical events from the earliest times to
right in Poole we've got, of course, the transport hub. You can see loads of more bus services down there. There's, of course, a Scania N230D Omni-City. Put your hands together for 1196 Mark Allen.
To our left is the main Poole bus station.
There's
is the lighthouse,
1120 as well.
Housing a variety of different performance spaces, it is one of the largest art centres outside of London. As well as being home to the world-famous Bournemouth Symphony Orchestra, it has also hosted many famous bands, from Oasis to U2, and singers Kate Bush and Michael Jackson even played the venue early in his career as part of the Jackson 5.
Also got Alexander Dennis Alx400 as well, and 1537 Alexander Dennis
At its peak, employed more than 2,500 people. Locally, if you didn't work there yourself, you would almost certainly know someone who did. To our left is the Dolphin Shopping Centre, formerly the Poole Arndale Centre, one of 23 Arndale centres built by property developers on Harbour Park and South Chippendale. The Arndale Leyland property of their names and Chippendale. Whilst never being celebrated for its architectural merit, it was one of the... As we travel
Poole train station.
the main Bournemouth Railway across Poole Harbour, at one time seen as a miserable and desolate place where hence the name Humber. We will now be passing on our right a number of crew members can learn the vital skills that allow them to go out in all weathers and help mariners in distress. And the college includes an indoor training pool that can simulate the worst of sea conditions, with waves, wind, rain, and even artificial thunder and lightning. The pool also allows crews to practice their capsize drills with full-size inshore life.
There's like something under construction over there. Go ahead with more bus sites and bright clips by Volvo 2254, and of course we have a Mercedes-Benz Turismo and a Plaxton. Triaxle.
We will soon be at Poole Quay, where the bus will turn left before stopping outside the Thistle Hotel. Please remain seated until the bus has come to a stop. If you have a bus and boat accommodation ticket,
Poole
please head
Harbour.
straight to the Blue City Cruises kiosk and pull on the quayside to reserve your place on your preferred sailing. There are lots of things to see and do on Poole Quay, but be sure to take a walk through the old town and see some of the historic buildings, with the oldest, Scapland's Court, next to the Poole Museum, dating back to the 13th century. The bus will leave from this stop on the hour every hour, and the last departure of the day is at 6 o'clock. If the quay is closed later for an event, please use the alternative stop by the take off in the beginning of the 20th century. The south coast began to see many air pageants and air races. In days where airstrips were rare, planes would take off and land on any piece of suitable flat land. Indeed, in 1910, Charles Rolls, who started the Rolls-Royce company, was the first Brit to be killed in a powered flight accident when his plane crashed on such a piece of land at Hengistbury Head, to the east of Bournemouth. During the 1930s, large flying boats were developed that would open up new routes to destinations without adequate facilities to land a conventional plane. Poole became the important centre for the starting off point from the UK.
Laguna Travel,
Destinations around
Scania,
the world, including the USA and
Touring.
Canada, India and Burma, Hong Kong,
The thing I saw was the
and
Moorbus
Australia.
depot.
Throughout the war, and British Airways had 600
final.
staff based in Poole to support their flying boat services.
Right bodied
There were up to
Volvo
24
B7tl
expensive flying boats based in the harbour.
and a couple of Alexander Dennis Alx400 MMCs down there.
Bars, restaurants, cafes,
Alexander
and
Dennis
garages.
Alx400 MMC
Every year during
1727.
the summer, Bournemouth 3, which is Bournemouth's Pride March, takes place along with other events focusing on the arts and culture. The main triangle area is also home to the Bournemouth Central Library, which opened in
Going up
2003
into
to
the hills of
cost
Bournemouth.
Public Building Award.
Another one's come in,
As
1772.
we return to the centre, bringing many hundreds of new residential properties into the town centre. The two traditional Bournemouth industries of finance and tourism are going strong, but there is also a huge growth in the media and creative industries. Bournemouth University has in many ways acted as a catalyst for this, producing groundbreaking films. The National Centre for Computer Animation continues to produce amazing talent, and it was recently highlighted as having one of the healthiest tech economies in the UK.
Over there, Alexander Dennis Alx400 MMC, of course. Alexander Dennis Alx400 MMC right in the background. Put your hands together for 1,683. This one. Where's 1,683? So yeah, 1,771. We also got 1,699 in a University of Bournemouth library. And of course, following a another Bournemouth University.
Has a number of very large churches, which provides church capacity for the high levels of summer visitors. With falling congregations, some of these buildings have found new uses. At the end of Westover Road, you will see St Peter's Church, which is one of the largest in the town, and today still has an active congregation. The church has many famous connections, including Mary Shelley.